Hi, it's Bricks on Bricks here for another video, and today, as you can see, we will be ranking all of the episodes of Ninjago Season 7, Hands of Time, and without further ado, let's get into it. So the first episode is, of course, The Hands of Time, and I will put this one in the great tier. I think it was a great setup for the season. As much as I don't prefer the season, I do think this was definitely a good premiere to it. There were some boring parts, but overall, because of that fight scene between Wu and Chronix, and because of how the ninjas get in on the action at the end of the episode, overall, it is a great episode. Next up, we have episode 2, The Hatching, which in my opinion is just a good episode. The backstory that we learn about the Hands of Time and their history with Wu and Garmadon and the other elemental masters, that was really well done. And then, I think it was cool that we learned about the Vermilion Warriors, but the episode just felt boring to me at times, and it just was some weird dialogue. So yeah, it's just a good episode in my opinion. Next up, we have episode 3, A Time of Traitors. This episode suffers completely from dialogue. There is a pretty good fight scene that is ruined by dialogue in this episode. Like the Kai versus Crux, or Nia versus Achronix, or, that battle in the museum. That's just completely ruined by the dialogue. I just think it really ruins it for me. Next up, we have episode 4, Scavengers. This is, of course, a bad episode. Worst of the season, one of the worst of the entire series. I don't know what to say besides that, because first off, we have Ronan and Dareth doing some strange stuff. We have some horrible dialogue from the Hands of Time. We have some weird Master Lloyd arc that really isn't as good as it was set up to be in season 5, and it kind of starts to get going more here in this episode, and they just screw it up right off the bat. So yeah, overall, this is a bad episode. Next up, we have episode 5. Oh no, that's the season finale, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so we still need, let me see, what's episode, oh, episode 5 is The Attack, wait, sorry guys, I'm just trying to find, oh, okay, it is in the right order, sorry about that, A Lion in the Sand. Yeah, this episode is also bad for me, I love the J focus, but everything else just sucks. That's pretty much how to sum up this episode. Like the J focus, but everything else sucks. Next up, we have The Attack. This could have been a great episode with all the action in it, but the dialogue once again screws everything up, and the dialogue in this season is really bad. I'll put Scavengers below both of these, and I'll put The Attack below A Lion in the Sand. But yeah, definitely The Attack was not a good episode by any means. Next up, we have Secrets Discovered. This episode is okay in my opinion. I will put it actually below A Time of Traitors. This episode is the one I would call the most boring and forgettable. I just felt like it was kind of boring and forgettable. We learned some stuff. I think this is the episode where we saw Skells again, but it was still boring and forgettable to me. So, yeah. Next up we have Pause and sorry about that. Next up we have Pause and Effect, and this episode I'll put it at the very top of the okay tier. There were some parts in it that I liked, but this episode also suffers from being boring at times. I love when we see Ray and Maya, but like everything else just isn't that good. So yeah, it's just an okay episode for me. Next up, we have Out of the Water and Out of the Fire and Into the Boiling Sea. Longest episode title ever, but this episode wasn't that bad. In fact, I'll probably put it above The Hatching. I did really enjoy the Kai and Nia stuff, learning more about their parents and, how they have to go, underwater in the boiling sea to get the reversal blade. So yeah, overall, it was definitely a good episode, but some of the other stuff I just didn't like as much. And then the last episode we have to talk about here is going to be episode 10, or the last episode of the season, which is Lost in Time. And right off the bat, this episode is amazing. The only amazing episode of the season, but I really enjoyed it. The premiere and the finale are the only great or amazing episodes of the season to me. I just think the rest of the season is either good, okay, or bad. These two episodes I enjoy, but the rest of the season I just didn't enjoy as much. The finale, you just can't go wrong with the time travel, going back to see the OG Elemental Masters. And, the Kai and Nia stuff's really good. Wu's final line is really good. Setup for season 8 is good. Overall, you can't go wrong with this episode. This is definitely an amazing episode, an amazing finale to a mediocre season. So yeah, stay tuned for my future tier list videos. And yeah, bye.